Hello, my name is Theresa Nyabeze. I identify as a Black person. My pronouns are she and her. And I am based in Canada, in Sudbury, Ontario. My journey in Vale started 21 years ago, and it started out as an engineer in training. Since then, I've had various roles in the organization, from working in operations to technical roles in the governance of resources and reserves in our company, to also really exploring how I could impact people and culture and be a culture of change in our organization. I can say that when I was a supervisor underground, oftentimes I was one of the only women supervising underground. And in some instances, if I looked at the crews on shift that day, there was maybe one or two women. You know, Vale has really come a long way, and now I interact with women who work underground who tell me about having, two people, three people on their own team and their own crews, and we're seeing more women taking on that role of going into leadership as well in operations. In 21 years, I can tell you that visibly we are seeing different looking people who look different from each other. So really we're seeing diversity in the workplace. We're seeing it not only for gender, but also ethnic diversity around us. Some tangible things I've seen happening in the workplace that are really a signal that we are harnessing diversity and seeking to be more inclusive is if I think of hygiene products, that in the workplace. So underground, we have these areas called refuge stations where if there's an incident underground, people gather. One of the ways that we have become more inclusive is understanding that, what if there's a woman in there? What if there's a person who needs, hygiene products? How are they going to be accommodated? So you've seen refuge stations getting equipped with those hygiene products, okay? And also now it's not unusual to go underground and to go to a bathroom facility and see that there's tampons and other products that have been made available for people to use. So this is a sign and symbol. If you come to our bathrooms, you'll see that we're making allowances for the different biological needs of employees. So reflecting on the time when I had children and my experience at parenting within Vale, I will say that I remember being a young mother, this is 19 years ago, 17 years ago, where I thought about how am I going to balance my work, appointments for the children, and I can see that over the years, so many things have changed. I've seen more people take parental leave. I've seen a real understanding from individual teams and leaders and conversations with other women about feeling accommodated and included, and that understanding that, oh, you have to leave and go pick up your children, or you have an appointment. And this is the same for all genders as we balance, being working parents. And definitely Vale has become more accommodating and more flexible over the years. I feel empowered to influence our culture and the initiatives that we take on in terms of how it can reflect the experiences of people with lived experience. I definitely see a role in contributing, giving people that perspective, which is really the power of diversity. It's about harnessing the perspectives of different people. So for my role within Vale right now, I see a real listening and need to understand deeply what my experience is and how does that factor into the policies and processes that we have within our company. So personally, I take that responsibility quite seriously because I see that there are many people within my own community that are looking for me to provide them that visible role modeling of being able to work in mining, that there's a role for you in mining, and you can actually work for a company that is seeking to achieve a state of belonging for everybody. Inclusion for me is, celebrating pride at work and understanding you don't have to belong to the community to be empathetic about showing people your support. Inclusion to me is raising the flags, having the flags and having those symbols that people can see that they are supported. Inclusion for me is making sure that when we have opportunities to celebrate with national events, for example, Black History Month, Inclusion for me is us not ignoring those moments, significant days, is actually doing stuff. That's inclusion for me. International Women's Month, Pride, Indigenous History Month. Inclusion for me is getting curious about people's culture and their lived experience and making sure that the systems and processes within Vale actually reflect that understanding.